What up, TCK Potters? Welcome back to the program. I'm your host, Sky Guasco, joined once again by my man, Christopher Benevides of the Commish Fantasy Football Podcast. This is episode 486 of the TCK Pod, a.k.a. Candlestick Kids Fantasy Football Podcast. Tonight, Chris and I are going to be breaking down the Week 8 TCK Listener League roster rundowns. If you are unfamiliar, the TCK Listener League is just what it sounds like. We have two listener leagues for this podcast. We have a veteran league and a rookie league. The rookie league basically is just newcomers or people who had fallen out of the veteran league because we have a rule. The bottom four of the veteran league fall down to the rookie league. The top four of the rookie league move up to the veteran league. So we have some movement there. And the veteran league are just people that have stayed or have been around for quite a while. And Chris is in the rookie league. Bobby's in the rookie league. Jordan's in the rookie league. Myself and Lucas and Dweez are all up in the veteran league. So we got a big family affair here. Josh, also from the Commish crew, is in the veteran league. Kelly from the Commish crew is in the rookie league. So it is a family affair, man. We're having a lot of fun. Chris, great to have you back, man. 486 here for the TCK Pod. We're going to start with a hot topic. This is brought to you, of course, by Bomb Banana Hot Sauce, our good friends at Bomb Banana Hot Sauce. I want to give them a quick notable shout out here. We have good friends of them, and I've been, repping their hot sauce all summer. It's absolutely delicious. So let's give a shout out here to Bomb Banana Hot Sauce. Want to introduce you to our newest sponsor, Bomb Banana Hot Sauce. They're a brand new banana-based hot sauce founded by 4 University of Michigan grads. Shouts out to the Wolverines. Their sauce is an absolute must-have at any draft or watch party. Put it on nachos, pizza, wings, or literally any dip, and you will never be forced to eat boring party food again. I promise. The sweet heat and the chili banana combo provides a truly delicious restaurant quality flavor. They currently offer 2 flavors, the original with the white label and the spicier muy muy that comes in the red label. I'm more of a mild guy, but if you like the spice, the muy muy is what you want. Be super excited to officially be part of the Bomba Nation, hashtag Bomba Nation. We hope that you'll join us there. Head over to their website, www.seekthespice.com. Use the discount code TCK at checkout to get 10% off of your order. Once again, Bomb Banana Hot Sauce, banana-based, not banana-flavored hot sauce, seekthespice.com, promo code TCK. All right, Chris, our hot topic of the evening, real simple. It's the middle of the fantasy season. We need to up our rosters with high quality players that maybe haven't even hit their ceiling yet, and we need to start cutting some dead weight that might be dragging us down. Chris, very simply, give me one player that you / the Commish team in your free playbook that drops every single Tuesday that everybody should be signed up for already. Let me know one player you are looking to acquire and trade, and one player you were looking to move off of, and why.
Yeah, so the first guy I want to talk about here is Carson Wentz, and this is strictly for Superflex leagues, okay? So right now, Carson Wentz is technically quarterback 17 on the season, but in the past 4 weeks, the man's is out playing, and he's outperforming quarterbacks like Ryan Tannehill, Kirk Cousins, and Derek Carr. So he's averaging about 19.45 points per game since week 4. He put up 20.3 points in that monsoon on the West Coast last week. And his matchups coming up are Tennessee, New York Jets, and then the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I think in terms of a super flex format, he is actually outperforming a lot of other quarterbacks. That is certainly outperforming his ADP. So whoever has him in your league likely can probably get him for, let's say, not a lot. And he's actually outperforming, I think, what you'd likely find in other quarterbacks like Ryan Tannehill and Derek Carr, as I mentioned. So Carson Wentz, certainly someone I'm looking for in trade targets. The guy I'm not looking to keep on my team is right now it's Calvin Ridley for a couple of reasons. One, he's not producing, and 2, we have no idea why. So right now he is yet to top 80 yards or in general 19.5 points per game in any PPR formatted game. He's wide receiver 28. You can likely ship him off for someone better, even if it's a better wide receiver, for someone who thinks that Calvin Ridley still has upside, still believes in the Atlanta Falcons offensive passing game. But right now, he's just not doing it. So if you can ship or package Calvin Ridley for someone better, I would do so.
Who's a wide receiver off top you might be looking to acquire for Calvin Ridley?
Dude, you can probably get someone like Emmanuel Sanders plus for Calvin Ridley. You can probably get someone like Michael Pittman plus for Calvin Ridley. These guys right now are outperforming Calvin Ridley. We talked about this on the last episode. Emmanuel Sanders is seeing the highest reception yards per target that he's ever seen in his entire career. Obviously, a lot of that has to do with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, but that's his scenario right now. So in redraft leagues, Sanders, Pittman, those are guys that you might want to look towards.
I like that. And I'm going to bounce back a little bit just because I think the best of Calvin Ridley is yet to come. However, there could be more underlying issues here. Let's not forget just a couple weeks ago when they were in London before the bye, he did not travel with the team because of a personal matter. I have not heard what that is. It's none of my business, frankly. Doesn't matter what it was. Could be a number of things. Nonetheless, that could be weighing on his mind. They did have the bye week to come out. 10 targets. Love to see that, but it's Kyle Pitts. And if Kyle Pitts is what we think Kyle Pitts is going to be with back-to-back 100-yard games, he could be that number one there. We'll see. But I do think Calvin Ridley is almost like I think he's almost a buy low, to be honest with you, because he is getting the work. But if you're going to get rid of him, I'd actually be looking much higher than those two guys you just mentioned. I'm going to look at, CeeDee Lamb plus. I'm going to look at Keenan Allen. I'm going to look at maybe even a Justin Jefferson or something if it's Ridley. Am I still here? Check.
Gotcha. Yep. Go ahead. Keep going.
Give me a second here. Sorry, folks.
Lost you there for a hot second, but you're back.
Check. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Ken.
Sorry about that. I bumped my microphone, so if I sound terrible, I apologize. Anyway, I'd be looking for a Keenan Allen or CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, somebody in that realm. Stephon Diggs even, plus, something like that. Or even look to buy low on somebody like Tyreek Hill if I could afford to boost Calvin Ridley plus. So we'll be looking at that. All right, Chris, while I get booted up here for the TCK Listener League rundown, can you please remind everybody where they can find all the Commish content?
Yeah, absolutely, man. So appreciate it. Of course, you having me on the Candlestick Kids Fantasy Football Podcast. For those of you who want some additional content, go check us over at all notable podcast platforms, the Commish Fantasy Football Podcast. You can also check us out on our social handles at the Commish FFP. And then, of course, we just talked about the playbook. It's our Tuesday newsletter, completely free. You can go subscribe over at our website, www.thecomishbrand.com/the-playbook.
Love it. All right, so pulling it up here. I know it's a mini screen. We'll do the best we can here for you to break everything down. If you're just now listening, this is a recap and preview of the TCK Listener League. If you are in the leagues, we're going to go through each of your rosters, and Chris is going to help us do some start sits. If you're not in the leagues, this might also help you with some start sits. So let's get right into it here. We will start with my matchup because it's the first one that comes up on my queue. So let's do that, Chris. I'm sitting at 5-2. I'm going to go over the records here in just a little bit, but I'm going with your boy Brady, Dalvin Cook off the bye, James Robinson off the bye, T. Higgy, DK Metcalf, Pat Freiermuth as my streaming tight end this week, CeeDee Lamb, Ryan Tannehill, Rams defense. Still waiting on Deshaun Watson to get traded, but we'll get that next week. And Jalen Waddle, Tyler Boyd, Jamal Williams on the bench. How do you feel about my roster?
Dude, you're solid. I can see why you're 5-2.
Love that. All right, going up against Hawk Dalladay. Took down the league last year, so I'm looking to get a little revenge here. Hawk Dalladay going with Darnold, Damian Harris. I was going to go with Deontay Harris. Damian Harris, Austin Eckler, assuming he plays. Cooper Kupp, Terry McLaurin, Robert Tonyan playing Thursday Night Football. Jacoby Myers, Amari Cooper, and we have the Green Bay defense as well. He's got Baker questionable on the bench, J.D. McKissick as well, and Russell Gage.
Yeah, he's probably playing his best lineup. He's got Henry Ruggs on a bye right now. Cooper Kupp could be a saving grace against you this week. For the record, Sky, I want to throw this at you in case you didn't know. Cooper Kupp is on pace for 136 receptions, 1,964 yards, and 22 touchdowns. Now, granted, it's a 17-game season, but he's on pace for statistically the greatest wide receiver season ever.
That is incredible. Great stat. And on top of that, Chris, this is a perfect segue. Our friend Ryan Allen coming in from Facebook notes, Chris has the wooden paneling of a man who clearly knows his rest of season values.
Exactly. You got it.
Dialed in, my man. The folks are listening.
We need no distractions. We need no distractions around here. Just wood paneling. It's all it is.
I love that. Let's get right to the point. What do you say? I will say though, your brother last week sitting in, pulled him out of the bullpen to jump in for you last week. He has a great backdrop. We saw Pop's Man Cave.
Oh yeah.
Very impressed, my man. Nice work. Okay, Lucas Kaser, old friend, of course, and Brady for Prez going up here. Lucas going with Stafford, Elijah Mitchell, Javonte Williams, Cortland Sutton, Tyreek Hill, Tyler Higbee, Miko Hardman, so going double Chiefs, feels the same way I do on Monday night. Matt Ryan and the Denver defense on the bench, Tony Pollard, Allen Robinson, Ricky Seals-Jones.
Yeah, no Devontae Adams definitely hurts him. So I think he's rolling with the best lineup this week.
Okay. Move over to the other side here. Brady for Prez going Aaron Rodgers, who is up right now on Thursday Night Football. Alvin Kamara beasted last week. Najee Harris fresh off a bye. Michael Pittman. Mike Williams off a bye. TJ Hawkinson. David Johnson getting a little more breathing room with Mark Ingram now back with the Saints. Carson Wentz, somebody you're looking to acquire. Great game last week. He's been on fire the last couple of weeks. The Seattle defense. He's got Justin Fields, Melvin Gordon, Jamison Crowder, and Dalton Schultz on the bench. Dalton Schultz is definitely somebody I want in my lineup, but can you play him over TJ Hawkinson?
No, but you could start him for David Johnson. That's not a terrible spot for Dalton Schultz right there. Yeah, I think I think actually this is like the rare occasion where I'd start a tight end over a running back like David Johnson. We talked about David Johnson's script. I think he's at a favorable script, but Dalton Schultz been freaking money. So hard to sit him.
Let's just be clear. You would start D Johnson over D Johnson.
Correct.
Okay. So make sure you sit D Johnson then and put in D. Yeah. Shouts out to Schultz. Let's put in Schultz here. He's been playing very, very well. And David Johnson, I'm still not very excited in, unfortunately. Hyde and Zeke coming in with Teddy Bridgewater, Derrick Henry, Cordero Patterson, Stephon Diggs, Deontay Johnson, Zach Ertz, and Christian Kirk both playing on Thursday Night Football. Big Ben Roethlisberger and the Bucs defense also has Ronald Jones, Tim Patrick, AB doubtful, unfortunately, Kadarius Toney, and the Cowboys defense.
Yeah, so probably would have flexed Kadarius Toney in there if I could, but he's got Christian Kirk in the flex spot. Probably should have put him in the wide receiver spot so he could flex some guys around. But and since he didn't, you can't really do anything about it. I mean, we're doing this in the middle of Thursday Night Football, so we can't really suggest how the game's going to turn out. But right now, Arizona's struggling to move the ball on offense. So, yeah, I mean, he's got his best lineup in there.
All right. On the other side, Josh, of course, shouts out to the commish. A big part of the playbook. Josh is rolling out here. Kyler Murray, who at this point is really struggling on Thursday Night Football. And of course, that leads down to his opponent there. Antonio Gibson coming with a shin injury. We know about that. Michael Carter getting more work for the Jets. Chris Godwin, number one without AB. Devonta Smith, Mike Gesicki, Emmanuel Sanders, who you've noted multiple times is really having one of his best years of his career. Dak Prescott, questionable, but I think he plays. And then the Buffalo defense, Singletary, Ayuk, Shenault, and Hunter Henry on the bench.
Yeah, he's at a solid lineup here. Assuming Kyler Murray picks it up here, I think Josh should come out with the win.
Okay. All right, moving down here to Jay Care and the alternate Curly. Jay Care rolling out Mahomes, Miles Sanders, Chase Edmonds, Andy Nuke Hopkins on Thursday Night Football. Deebo Samuel, Rob Gronkowski, assuming he plays. And then he's got two guys out in the flex, Chris. Let's fill up those positions with the Chargers defense. So we're looking for a super flex, which could be Terrence. Let's go with Trevor Lawrence. And then we have a flex, which is Keenan Allen, Jalen Reagor. So I think this is pretty easy here. We'll go with Trevor Lawrence and Keenan Allen.
Yeah, either or. I also think he needs to take out Miles Sanders as well. I think Sanders is out this week.
So he's got Sanders out. He's got Latavius Murray out and Zach Wilson. So let's go with Trevor Lawrence,
Keenan Allen,
Jalen Reagor, or Kendrick Bourne. I feel like every week I text you boys and I'm like, Kendrick who? It's my dog.
I know. Kendrick looks nice. I got to go Reagor. Yeah, go Reagor. You got to go Reagor, I think. It's just they're playing Detroit, so.
Okay. The alternate Curly going with Jalen Hurts, also in that Eagles game. Zeke Elliott, Darrell Williams, A.J. Brown, Chase Claypool, Tyler Conklin, Marvin Jones, Geno Smith, and the 49ers defense. He's got Lamar on a bye, Tyler Lockett on the bench. Saints defense on the bench. Saints defense, versus the Buccaneers or the 49ers versus the Bears?
You got to play the 49ers.
Okay. And anywhere we can fit in Tyler Lockett, or would you even want to? Marvin Jones? No. Chase
I'm thinking
Claypool,
no.
AJ Brown. Okay.
Yeah, I would not. No.
I agree with you. All right, let's go to Dweez. We have Dweez on every Monday night these days. He's finally dusted off the rust, came out of retirement for us to break down our waiver wires and trade targets. 0-7, Chris.
Oh no.
I think he might be you and him might be swapping spots this year.
Hey, I'm trying, man. I'm trying to get my
He's gonna
pride back.
bump down.
Yeah, we'll see, Dweez. I gotta for those of you I just kind of show you how small the world is a little bit here. We were at the fantasy football conference convention, you want to call it,
Expo.
back in Expo, back in August, and I had the privilege of meeting Dweez Nuts, and he is awesome. He is full of life. He is exactly who he is. You meet him in person or on the pod. So our team really enjoyed him.
Love that. Love to have the Commish crew and the TCK crew finally meet up. I wasn't able to go this year, but I'll definitely be there next year. And of course, can't wait to come out east and hang out with you guys. All right, Dweezy rolling out Goff, Henderson, Chubb, Evans, Jefferson, Pitts, Barkley, if he plays, and Cousins with the Arizona defense. He has a great team. He's been having some terrible, terrible losses. Alex Collins on the bench, Kenny Gainwell on the bench, Hubbard on the bench, Corey Davis on the bench, Darnell Mooney and Dallas Goedert on the bench. He has an incredible roster, 0-7.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, like, you could probably swap some of those starters for the bench players, and he might end up with a better lineup. It's tough to say, but dude, it's weird. He's got like a great lineup, but half his team's kind of hurt, and then the other half on the bench, they're just good enough, but they're just not doing enough to pull off wins, apparently.
Is this one of those games where maybe you got to just swap it out? You do some slump busters in there. You play the guys you're not supposed to just to mix it up.
You might have to. Yeah, you might have to.
All right, going up again this week, Ulysses, much better squad on paper so far. Herbert, Taylor, Swift, DJ Moore, Jamar Chase, Noah Fant, Lenny Fournette, Joe Burrow, and the Bengals defense. On the bench, he's got Jimmy G, Brandon Cooks, and the Colts and the Browns defense as well.
Yeah, he's stacked. You don't have to worry about him.
Absolutely stacked. All right, last one here in the veteran division. Then we'll take a quick break and get into the rookies. President Richard Mixon, our boy Paulie, who has been third place in this league runner-up 3 years in a row. Pretty unbelievable run for him. And then we have Nosu for you as well, longtime supporter of the TCK. Paulie is going with Allen at quarterback off the bye. Mixon, Gaskin, Woods, Julio Jones, assuming he plays. Staying in the flames with CJ Uzomah. Love that. He's going with Beasley, Winston, and Carolina's defense. Then he has Mac Jones on the bench, Mike Davis, Robbie Anderson, who we've talked about quite a bit, Dearness Johnson, and he's got Mark Andrews on a bye.
Yeah, that seems to be his best lineup right now.
Okay, Nosu for you, going with Tua, Khalil Herbert, Aaron Jones on Thursday Night Football, Adam Thielen, Calvin Ridley, Travis Kelce, Sterling Shepard, assuming he plays, your boy D. Jones at the Superflex, and then the Pittsburgh defense against the Browns, Heineke on the bench as well as T.Y. Hilton, Odell Beckham Jr., Devontae Parker, Darius Slayton. Any subs for him?
No, I think he's good. I mean, Zach Moss, we talked a little bit about, might see a lot of goal line work, but I think he's at his best running backs in there. So,
okay. All righty. Let's take a quick break, and I will boost up the rookie division. Actually, let's take a quick look at the standings. I want to make sure we give shouts out where shouts out are due. Ulysses and I, my good friend Ulysses and I, tied in first place in the Veteran League at 5-2 apiece. Then you have Brady for Prez, Hayden Zeke, Hawk Dalladay, Nosu for you, Curly, and Lucas, all at 4-3 in second place. And then in third, you have Richard Mixon and Josh from the Commish crew at 3-4, Jay Care at 2-5, and then Dweez pulling up the back here at 0-7. We'll take a quick break, give a shout out to our new sponsor at Care Factor. We'll be right back with you with the rookie division of the TCK Listener League. Chris and I'll be right back.
Hey TCK Potters and Fantasy Focus community. Are you looking for options for hair loss? There are many options out there for treating it. However, most products treat the cause, such as DHT, and don't do much to support the growth of new and stronger hair. It's like removing harmful weeds from your lawn, but not doing much to fertilize the grass. That's why the Fantasy Focus and TCK team has partnered with Care Factor. Carifactor saw this problem and focused their research on finding just the right combination of biosynthetic growth factors and an innovative delivery system to promote fuller, stronger looking hair. So whether you're a listener who suffers from various forms of alopecia or even stress-related hair loss, the Carifactor treatment is the perfect scalp-friendly solution that can help and influence stronger and healthy hair throughout all stages of the hair life cycle. And now, exclusively for TCK listeners, use the promo code TCK at checkout to get 15% off all products at shop.mycarifactor.com. That's shop.mykerafactor.com. Carifactor, skincare for hair.
All right, shouts out to Carifactor, our new sponsor. Now let's get into the rookie division, Chris. Once again, I'm joined by Christopher Benevides, our weekly guest. Last week, his brother sat in for him, Alex, but Chris is back this week. Find him and the crew on Twitter at the Commish FFP. We do have some listener questions coming up in the chat. We'll get to all of you coming up soon after we break down this league. Let's get into the rookie division, Chris. Team Drew Reb going up against Brad Pelkey, or better known as Peter Dragon, in this one. You got a little feedback. I'm going to mute you quick. All right, coming back. I think we're good to go there. All right, we have Drew Reb. Won the league a couple years ago. He's got Teddy B, Josh Jacobs on a bye, so we got to fill that up. Austin Eckler, Tyreek Hill, Adam Thielen, Robert Tonyan going this on Thursday Night Football. Gerald Everett, Jameis Winston, and the Buccaneers defense. We need a running back for him. He's got J.D. McKissick, Phillip Lindsay, Mark Ingram, now on the Saints. And that looks like about it. So of those running backs, who would you start? Also has Robert Woods on the bench and Darnell Mooney.
Yeah, probably. I like myself some McKissick here. I think you could probably see a lot of passing work. We talked about that game. We're like not too confident about it, and also we have that Gibson fracture, so he might not. He might get not the full workload like he has not been getting.
Okay, and let's go over to the other side here. Brad Pelkey going with Matt Stafford, Saquon Barkley, assuming he plays, Darrell Henderson, Chase Claypool, Randall Cobb, Thursday Night Football, Travis Kelce, Kadarius Toney, assuming he plays, Joe Burrow in the Rams defense against Houston. Yikes. Let's see. He's got on the bench, he's got AB, but he's doubtful. And then Marquez Callaway as well, but I think he's got his best squad in there.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay. Let's move on here to our good friend Funk. B-Funk and the other Brad, keeping up with the Joneses. We'll go Funk first. Brady, Darrell Williams, Derrick Henry, Mecole Hardman, DK Metcalf, Mike Gesicki, Mike Evans, Jared Goff, and the Buffalo defense. On the bench, Jarvis Landry, and he's got a handful of buys as well. So Jarvis Landry or Mike Evans, DK Metcalf, Mecole Hardman.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Landry for Mecole Hardman is probably the switch I'd make. But, I mean, overall solid lineup. I think he's looking for some of that boom play from Hardman, so I can understand that.
I agree there. Okay, let's move over to the other side. Keeping up with the Joneses going Mac Jones, Alex Collins, Aaron Jones going on Thursday Night Football here. Mike Williams, Julio Jones, Ricky Seals Jones. 4 Joneses, ladies and gentlemen, if you're keeping score at home. Keenan Allen, Kirk Cousins, and then needs a DST. Jamal Williams, Miles Sanders hurt on the bench, Robbie Anderson, Tim Patrick, Emmanuel Sanders, Jalen Waddle, and the Bengals defense. Of course, the Bengals defense just hasn't been slotted in there yet. So of his subs, and he has a couple good ones, Jalen Waddle, Emmanuel Sanders, Tim Patrick, are you starting any of those guys in place of Keenan Allen, Julio Jones, or Mike Williams? If Julio doesn't go, which one do you like?
Yeah, you probably got to go with Julio you have to say Julio, I think, in this game. Probably either Waddle or Sanders. Waddle's been playing pretty well, especially with Tua. So they're
against Buffalo secondary, though, that makes me nervous.
Well, I get what you're saying, but they're going to be playing a lot of catch up, is what I'm guessing here. So, I think Waddle's a good wide receiver. I think he's going to be a good play. It's either him or Sanders. I think either or will get you a nice game, much better than Julio Jones, in my opinion.
Fair enough. I would probably go Sanders in that particular matchup. Okay, let's go with Weston and Juan Otts. Weston's going with Prescott, assuming he plays. Edmonds on Thursday Night Football. Gibson, Brandon Cooks, Deontay Johnson, Hunter Henry, Leonard Fournette, Taylor Heineke, Seattle defense. And then Mike Davis on the bench, and the rest of them are buys. A lot of Ravens and Raiders.
Yeah, seems like the best lineup he has here.
Okay, let's move over to the other side. Juan Otts going with Tua, Joe Mixon, Jonathan Taylor, Deebo Samuel, Devontae Smith, Kyle Pitts, Javonte Williams, Matt Ryan, and the Browns defense. Jacoby Myers, CJ Uzomah, Carolina defense against the Falcons is on the bench.
No, I like his team here. This seems to be the best team.
Okay.
Yep.
Moving on here to Jordan and Kelly. Jordan Della Valle is going with Kyler Murray here on Thursday Night Football, Khalil Herbert, Cordero Patterson, Calvin Ridley, Stephon Diggs, TJ Hawkinson, Cortland Sutton, Ryan Tannehill, and the Pittsburgh defense. Really solid team. Carson Wentz, who we've been praising all night, on the bench. And Boston Scott could get more work with Miles Sanders out as well. Tyler Lockett and Corey Davis. Any swaps here for Jordan?
Probably not. Who's his second quarterback again? Just to confirm.
Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, I mean, you can make a case for Carson Wentz over Tannehill, but I mean,
Same game.
Yeah, same game. So I don't really know. I don't really know who you feel best about. I think the Colts have a better defense than the Tennessee Titans overall. So.
Yep, and there's a good chance that Tannehill could be without Julio Jones once again.
Right.
All right, before we get started, we'll do our weekly shout out to Kelly. Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, no, Kelly's one of the main contributors over at the Commish. We actually had her on one of our episodes a couple of weeks ago. We have had her. She had a lot of great writing pieces, especially leading into the season. In general, the team has done a lot less writing over the past couple of weeks, but Kelly's one of our main contributors. She contributes to the playbook every week. We have her in sort of our inner text groups that we have on Twitter. So she's been a good contributor to the team.
Absolutely. Been on the TCK pod a couple times as well. Shouts out to our girl Kelly in Phoenix. Excellent follow on Twitter. Going with Daniel Jones, Zeke Elliott, Damian Harris, AJ Brown, Terry McLaurin, Zach Ertz on Thursday Night Football, DJ Moore, Nick Chubb. 49ers defense also has Sterling Shepard on the bench. The rest are bye week. So Sterling Shepard or any subs, DJ Moore, Terry McLaurin, AJ Brown, no way.
No, she's got a good team here.
She does. It's going to be a great matchup there. Okay, let's get into the next one here, and then we'll save the best for last. All right, we're going with T Banta and Megatron, our girl Megan, all the way out in the UK. Banta going with Mahomes, Elijah Mitchell, James Robinson, Nuke, and Kirk, both on Thursday Night Football. Dalton Schultz, Michael Carter, Big Ben Roethlisberger, and Broncos defense. Myles Gaskin, Allen Robinson, Odell Beckham, Laviska Shenault, all on the bench. Would you start any of those wide receivers over Michael Carter in the flex? And he's already played the other two wide receiver positions.
I like the Michael Carter play, but I mean, Gaskin's been playing pretty well, so maybe Gaskin over Carter. But I have liked the way Carter has been playing, so yeah, Gaskin might be my only move there.
Okay, let's go to Megatron. Going with Rodgers on Thursday Night Football, Najee Harris, Dalvin Cook, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Pittman, Evan Ingram, assuming he plays, Kenny Gainwell in place of Miles Sanders, Jimmy Garoppolo in Colts defense, Fields, Michelle, Beasley, Aguilar, Reagor, Ayuk, and Osborne on the bench. Any swaps there?
No, I think he's the best team, or he's playing his best team right now. So yeah, looks good.
Got it. All right. So let's see here. Next up, and finally, we have the Commish Fantasy Football Podcast, streamlined by our man, Chris Benevides, going up against Sky's co-host, otherwise known as Bobby Lamarco. Let's get into Bobby's team first. Josh Allen, Zach Moss, Devontae Booker, Marvin Jones, Cooper Kupp, Tyler Higbee, Amari Cooper. Trevor Lawrence, Washington football team defense has Sam Darnold, Melvin Gordon, David Johnson, T.Y. Hilton, Tyler Boyd, and T. Higgins on the bench. I'll go first. T. Higgins over Amari Cooper. Probably can't do that. T. Higgins over Marvin Jones. Oh, God, I want to against the Jets, but the Jets have been pretty good. I would probably go T. Higgins because of the workload over Marvin Jones, but he has the Lawrence Jones stack, so I get it. He needs help at running back, but unfortunately he has no backups there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, agreed.
Okay. Well, Devontae Booker if Saquon plays, obviously he's going to take him out, and you put in David Johnson or Melvin Gordon.
Gordon's been okay. He's
Yeah.
been fine,
50-50.
Again. Yeah, it's kind of 50-50. And just for context, for the listeners, I mean, we were talking about this on the previous episode. David Johnson could have a nice game script playing from behind with no Ingram in the backfield. So you could see him lining up and catching sort of dump off passes for the for the catch up game script, if you will.
I agree. All right, let's move over here to the Commish FFP. This is Chris's team going with Herbert, Kamara, Swift, Godwin, Chase, Fant, Jefferson, Hurts, and New England's defense. Very good squad there. Geno Smith, Tony Pollard, Chuba Hubbard, and Dallas Goedert on the bench. Chris, I'm going to go first here. Vet the squad. It looks great all around. The only thing I don't like, but I think you can get away with it, is I don't like my DST to be going up against my quarterback, because literally everything they do to get points hurts Herbert, and everything Herbert does positively hurts the DST.
Yeah.
But obviously you're a Patriots fan. They have a good defense here, but I would look to stream one, but I don't know if you want to drop the DST there for the Patriots.
Yeah, I think I'm going to, I was looking at this earlier. I think I'm probably going to end up streaming one. I think Van Jefferson might be my drop.
Yeah, you could drop Van Jefferson and then stream a DST. That's what I would do personally.
Exactly. Yep.
All right, let's take a look at these standings quick, and we'll get to some of our questions and get out of here. The Commish, well done, man. Congratulations. This is the first time we've done this show for 3 years, the TCK roster rundown. This is the first week, Chris, in 3 seasons that going into the week, you and I are both in first place.
I like it.
Well done, my man. You are alone in first place at 6-1. Of course, I'm tied at 5-2 with Ulysses in the Veteran League, but making a strong case to get back up in the Veteran League. Well done. Stay strong. 6-1 for you. Jordan Della Valle alone at number 2, doing well. And then Brad Pelkey, Juan Otts, Drew Reb, Weston, and the other Brad, keeping up with the Joneses, all 4-3. B-Funk, Kelly and Phoenix, Megatron, the 2 gals, and Brock going up at 3-4. Bobby alone at 2-5, and Todd Banta, unfortunately, 0-7. That breaks down our Week 8 TCK Listener League previews. Let's get to some of our questions, Chris, and then we'll get out of here. All right. So tuning in here, let's see. We went to Ryan Allen once again. Shouts out to the wood paneling. Very adult of you. All right, let's go here with James R. Giles. Should I pick up OBJ or Jarvis Landry or Sterling Shepard? I mean, Keenan Allen, not Sterling Shepard. So let's go with OBJ, Jarvis Landry, or Keenan Allen. Are any of those guys pickups for you?
Jarvis Landry could be a nice pickup. When you get Baker back as well. I just don't think OBJ is the guy over there, so it's got to be Jarvis Landry.
I agree. All right, the other one, we got a bot in here, which is always nice. But I do want to give a shout out to our friend Beach. Beach, we missed you on the previous episode, and unfortunately we didn't get your picks in. But if you want to maybe DM those to me on Twitter, Sky Guasco, I'd be happy to update you on those calls. But we have already gotten through that episode. You can listen back on the Candlestick Kids Fantasy Football Podcast. All right, Chris, busted it out, man. We still got Thursday Night Football coming up here. Before we go, I'll take 2 seconds. I know you're sad. I'm sad. Giants out. Red Sox out. We move on. My question to you is, are you rooting for the Astros because you're one of those, like, if I'm going to lose, I want to lose to the champion? Or are you bitter because, A, they're the fucking Astros and they beat your Red Sox, so you're going Braves? Like, what's your approach here on the World Series?
I'm Braves all the way. Like, I'm not like I'm only rooting for the Braves because of how much I hate the Astros. So, and for context, by the way, I have a good friend of mine who lives in Connecticut. He's a big Yankees fan. And I asked him, who you rooting for, the Red Sox or the Astros? And he said, I'm rooting for anyone in the National League. So we're both on the same page. He doesn't want to admit it, but we both fucking hate the Astros. Sorry, anyone who's in Houston. You guys are cheaters. So
now, no offense to our Houston listeners, but do you hate the Astros because they beat the Red Sox or because they're cheaters?
Because they're cheaters, and it's ironic because I'm a Pats fan. So, I mean, how do you, it is what it is.
Fair enough. So So let me just get this straight. You just don't like cheaters assuming it's not your squad, right? Like,
Assuming it's not my squad. See, my team,
Yeah.
didn't really deflate the footballs. That's just how it works.
you have to do what you have to do to win. Am I correct? If you have to drop a couple extra cameras at somebody's training camp,
Exactly.
it happens here and there. Maybe you break a cell phone every once in a while.
Yeah.
You got to get the W's. That's what I'm hearing from
Exactly.
New England.
Kind of. That's how we roll, as long as it's not, not against us.
As long as you get a championship, that's all it takes. I like that spirit, Chris. Well done. For me, I am also going with the Braves, and it's A, I don't like the Astros. B, the Braves beat the Dodgers, who beat the Giants, and that's the rivalry. So the Braves, who I've never rooted for in my entire life, are my favorite baseball team for the next 2 weeks. So hopefully the Braves can stick it out. We will see what happens. Always a blast, man. Before we get out of here, let everybody know once again where they can find all your content.
Of course, man. Yeah, appreciate it. You can go check us out over on all the notable platforms, the Commish Fantasy Football Podcast, at the Commish FFP on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. And of course, go subscribe to the playbook. It's on our website, www.thecommishbrand.com. Sky, I do have one question for you before we do jump off here. What is your favorite candy bar?
You're gonna jump ahead on me.
It's that time of year, bud.
It is, and I'm not.
I won't be able to ask you that. I won't be able to ask you that question next week.
Well, I haven't done my rankings yet.
Okay.
Okay. Here, I'm gonna break this down. This is real simple for me. Candy bar, like a bar specifically, by definition, it's gonna be Snickers.
Okay.
You have all the goodness of a Snickers. Twix is a nice second. A lot of people throw Reese's Pieces into that or Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. Doesn't count. It's not a bar. It's a cup. That it just doesn't count. So I'm gonna go Snickers. Kit Kats are fantastic, but again, I'm a caramel guy. I like a little bit of nougat. I like a little snap. So I'm gonna go Snickers 1, Twix 2, Kit Kat 3. But on draft day, I'm more than happy to get any one of those 3 guys. Like I'll trade back, get an extra pick to get a Kit Kat at number 3. I'm fine with that.
Fair enough.
Any candy bar other than a candy bar, like any candy, I got to go peanut M&M. I know it's old school, but it's tried and true. Peanut M&M for me, man, is just it's a snack. You could argue there's protein in it. So it's one of the healthier options. Also, look, man, you never know what you're going to get, right? Great colors, whatever. Used to be a big Skittles guy, but then I got old and my teeth started rotting, so I can't eat Skittles anymore. But used to be a big fan of like tropical Skittles when they came out with those in high school. That was the best shit ever. I'll retort back to you here before we get out of here. What are your favorite candies?
Yeah, dude, love it. The only one I would add in there that you haven't talked about, and we talk about it every year, is the Take 5. It's very underrated. It's
underrated.
It's like the Snickers, but with a little bit of peanut butter in there. So you like mixing the Reese's and Snickers in one sort of bite. It's great. It's delicious.
Fair enough. I think what we need to do, because you and I have done our rankings for candies, and here's what we're going to do. We're breaking the rules a little bit, but we're going to come back with this. I have a homework assignment for you, Chris.
All right.
I want top 5 candies, any variation, any style of candy, and go crazy. Maybe it's like a caramel apple pop, which isn't a candy, but it's like candy-ish.
Yeah.
Maybe it's one of those old like sweet tart necklaces that we used to have, right?
Expand. I'll think of some creative ones. I think there's some local ones from around New England that you might enjoy.
Bro, maybe it's Pez, right? Throw a Pez dispenser at me. Get creative. I need your top 5 candies in general. Here's what's important. I want a player comparison to the candy and why.
Okay. All right.
So if you have Take 5 is kind of an underrated sleeper, who is the Take 5 of fantasy?
Okay. When are you going to air this? Because I have to think about it.
No, this is next week's episode. You got a whole week to get into this.
Oh, okay, good.
This is after. Yeah, we're good.
All right,
we're going to expand the brand a little extra and get into it here. So this is next week's assignment.
All right, got it. I'm on it.
Best of luck, brother. Hey, have a spooky Halloween, my man. Be safe out there trick-or-treating. Thanks, and the boys, be nice out there. This episode and all episodes have been brought to you by the Believe Podcast Network and Bet Online AG for all your sports betting online. Shouts out to Carifactor and, of course, Bomb Banana Hot Sauce. Christopher Benevides and the Commish Fantasy Football Podcast. And my name is Sky Guasco, wishing everybody a happy Halloween. I'll be back with you at the end of the week, but I do want to wish everybody a happy Halloween while we are talking about it right now. To all you spookers, ghouls, and ghosts, we'll catch you next time on the Candlestick Kids Fantasy Football Podcast. For Chris Benny, I'm Sky G. We'll be back next time. We are out of here.